So today I have a GOW-MAC mini gas leak detector, and it's attached to this arm that allows you to put your arm in it and just hold it and do your leak detections. It normally goes right up in here. Then you stick this in where you want to sniff, and it should give you a detection of whether you have a leak, gas leak or not. And it's dead. So I've got the AC adapter. It's just a little 9 volt, 800 milliamp little power supply, wall wart. So first thing, bring out the voltmeter. Let's just check it. 9.23 volts. But when I plug this in, switch the switch on, I get nothing. So let's tear it apart, see what's inside. More stuff inside than I expected, that's for sure. Some rechargeable batteries. Looks like NiCad possibly. Well, I don't see any issues with the connection. I thought maybe there'd be a bad connection on there. So let's see if the batteries have any voltage at all, because it might be one of those circuits that charges the batteries up and uses the batteries as the main supply. 3.9. That looks good, so it should have 3.6 volts there. With the 3-cell nickel metal hydride or NiCad pack. I see a voltage regulator right here. It's an LM317. This one's labeled a TC1262 3.3 VAB, 3.3 volt regulator. So let's look at those and see if there's any voltages on those at all. So I got 9.2 volts there. Let's check these regulators. 1.2, 3.1, 4.3. 4.3, 3.2, 1.0. So that's probably the 3.3 volt output right there. So that's working okay. With the power switch off, what do we get? 1.0, 3.3, 1.2, 3.1, 4.3. Okay, so I've done a bit of troubleshooting. I've got a pinout of the microprocessor here. And I'm looking at the power switch connections, and one side of the power switch goes to this pin right here, and I labeled that pin 3 of the power switch. Now pin 2 supposedly takes this trace right here, goes through a plate through, and now the plate through runs all the way over to here. And on the other side, we see the buzzer. Something looks wrong with that plate through connection right there. All the rest of them look very good and very clean. That one's got some green ookies. So I'm going to get the Hacko fired up, and I'm going to unsolder that little buzzer and see what's going on there. Alright, got the buzzer out of there. I would say the buzzer damaged that connection. It's very corroded. A lot of green boogers. Look at that. So let's try to do continuity from pin 3 of this ribbon cable back to this connection right here. See what we get. So here's pin 3. Open. Verified leads are working. Open. So let's run a jumper from this point to that connection right there. Let's see if we get this thing going again. So here's a quick look at the back side of the buzzer. I realize the resolution is low. I have it zoomed in on digital zoom, but look at all the crusties right here. So a little bit of corrosion happened, and I think it damaged that connector. So hopefully that is the only problem that this gas leak detector has, is the green crusties right there. Alright, so I'm going to put a little dab of solder on that plate through right there. There we go. Next I have a single piece of copper. So I'm going to do this trick where I hold it in 2 fingers and I tin it with the other 2 fingers in my hand. There it is, all tinned. Next I'm going to try to tack it to that little lead that I just tinned on the board, the plate through. There it is, it's holding. Next I'm going to trim a little bit off. Wrap it around right there. Give it a tack. Now we'll test it. Okay, so now with the power switch off, I'm going to test. I have these labeled back here. Pin 2 of the power switch, pin 3 of the power switch. Should be open. And it is. It's the 3rd and 4th pin on the connector. Now I'm going to turn the power switch on. Measure pin 3 and 4 once again, which is pin 2 and 3 of the power switch. I get 1 ohm. That's good. So let's hook the power supply back up and the battery back up and see if it lights up. Alright, power supply hooked up. Battery reconnected. Motor runs. Lights blinking. I would say at this point we have a solid fix. This tactile switch is still bad though. Maybe I can take it apart and fix it. But you can see this little pump is actually running. And we're getting lights. The blinking is just because of the camera shutter versus the LED strobe. So the zero switch is not working. Let's pull that out. Let's unsolder it. Maybe we can take it apart and fix it. Okay, so battery disconnected and power supply disconnected. There's no voltage in the unit right now. Alright, switch is out. You can see it's loose on there. Got the tabs bent up. Well, that's why it's not working. The tactile switch portion is missing from it. The disc is completely gone out of the switch. No wonder. Well, maybe I can steal a disc out of another tactile switch. So I have another disc that I found from another tactile switch that I pulled apart, pried it open, got the switch out. So I'm going to go ahead and clean these contacts in the original tactile switch with a stainless steel brush. Really good, really cleaned up. So I'm going to take an eraser, put it into the eraser. Hopefully it fits. If that disc is too big. So I'm taking off probably 20 or 30 thousandths with every cut. Now the disc is a little bit smaller. Look at that. Fits in there perfectly. So I'll put it back together and see what happens. Okay, I've got it all put back together now. The new disc in there. Let's get the leads on here. Give it a push. Push, release. Push, release. There we go. Switch is repaired. There it is, all put back together. Let's put it back on the board. Alright, let's solder it back in. I'm just going to tack one lead. I'm going to give it a push. Make sure it's flush against the board at that point. Now I'm going to hit the opposite corner with some solder. Now same thing, going to push it. Alright, it's up there flush. That's good. Now we'll hit the other three leads. That's good. Now let's try to test it in the board. Make sure everything's good. Press, release. Press, release. Perfect. So let's power it back up. Power on. We get light. The pump is running. So range is on high right now. The button is the 0 button. So let's see if we get any indication on the LED strip. 0. Oh, zeroed it right out. If I put my finger up against the tip of this. It went up. 0. Boom. Working perfect. Let's put a low scale now. My finger on the tip. Move my finger away. Put my finger on the tip again. So it must be reading something on my finger. So let's say 0 now. 0. Working perfect. Awesome. High scale. My finger on the tip. Full scale. Let's back off, see if it comes down. When we're down to 0, then back up. So let's call this 0, see what happens. So the tactile switch is working. I believe this thing is working perfectly. And now I'm going to put it all back together. Doggone it, I hate it when I'm human. I put the beeper on the wrong side. So the beeper is supposed to go back here on this side. Duh. Had it all back together. Couldn't get the front plate back on because the beeper's too thick. So I soldered one lead. I'm going to take it and press it onto the back of the board till it's flush. I'm going to solder the other lead. Looks good. I'm going to give it another press again to make sure it's all the way against there. I'm going to heat both leads. Alright, it's totally flush. Now I bet the front will fit. Much better. Couldn't get the front to fit in the slot before. There we go. Now I'm going to put the screws back in it. Let's go ahead and power it back up. On. Pump is pumping. And I'll put it on high range. Beeper works. 0. Boom. Perfect. Now, big test. Unplug. Power on. Runs. Let's say 0. Works perfectly. So I certainly hope you enjoyed this video on the mini gas leak detector by GOW-MAC Instruments Company. This is a model 21-070. If this video has helped you, please consider making a donation on my YouTube homepage with the PayPal donate button or at paypal.me/NorCal715. Remember, with your help, we can keep these things out of the landfill and out of the recycle bin. You can follow me on Twitter at NorCal715. Everybody have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.